Hello everybody. I'm just sitting here and I got this idea to just do some lo-fi ASMR with my guitar. I was just sitting here feeling a little bit stressed when I started thinking of just how to stay present in this moment, and I started thinking of how my main focus right now should just be slow, simple things that calm me down and make me happy and keep me as present as possible. So I just started to think of the things that I love, and music is one of them. So I was thinking all day how much I wanted to practice, but I just kept getting distracted. And that happens a lot. So finally, I started to practice, but before I started, I just wanted to ground myself and to get as present as possible. I just started examining, I can't speak, examining every part on the guitar. The smell of it, the feeling of it, the sound of it. And I realized it was super soothing and grounding, and it was kind of like that technique of, what's something you can hear, something you can smell, something you can see, something you can taste, something like that. And I was just kind of doing that technique, but specifically with my guitar. And I started to see how relaxing it was. I have a callus on my fingers from playing, so it kind of makes like rougher sounds because my skin's thicker there. And I was just thinking, wow, I always put all of this stress on the things that I love most, when those should be the things that actually bring me peace and joy and happiness. And to just actually be able to sit here and admire the instrument and play the instrument just because that's what I want to do and I love it, and that's the whole purpose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Was incredible and just confirmed my love for it. Not that that's ever been a question for me, but it can get upsetting when you're constantly trying to be perfect and amazing at things. I'm not saying I'm not, but when that's the constant expectation, it makes things you love exhausting instead of rewarding, which is the whole reason you're doing them in the first place. So sometimes you have to just sit with the things you love and really appreciate them and examine them and see them as a gift. And it's in this day and age, I can just go to the store and buy a guitar, and maybe it's not that big of a deal, or I can just order one online and, the money will come back, and that's great. And that kind of makes things feel less special. So it's few things as gifts, don't really allow yourself access to all of because you don't really need all that to make you happy. It's like, think about what's really important to you, and then focus on those things. And then don't put pressure on those things. Enjoy those things and see them as a gift instead of just this transactional thing that you can just get whenever you want and throw away whenever you want, right? Really cherish your hobbies and the things that you love. Just like if you love fashion, you love clothes, look at every piece of clothing you have and touch it and feel what it feels like and smell it and put it on and style it, and just take specific time out of your day or your weekend to do that and enjoy that thing again. Get that spark back. And then don't overconsume it, you know what I mean? You don't need as much as you think you do to be happy. So it's like, I'll just look at this instrument, and even though it's mass produced and there's so many of them out there nowadays and things are so accessible, it's like, this is mine. And I spent my money on it, and it's not perfect, but it allows me to make beautiful music that I love and to relax like this right now with myself or with you. And it makes me extremely happy. So I'm gonna cherish it. And then you start to feel that feeling of like relief, like, oh, maybe I don't need all this stuff all the time, and maybe everything is a gift. Even the smallest things, like a can of soda or your favorite meal or an hour to yourself. It's all a gift, and you start feeling content with the things that you already have, even if they aren't perfect or exactly where you want them to be in your mind. And then all of a sudden, the things that you do want in your mind, they start coming in easier and flowing easier because you're already content and happy with what you do have. So it just makes things easier and life lighter. And it really all is a mental block. So anyways, I just thought tonight we could relax together. Lo-fi style, because I just got the inspiration. So why not? You may have noticed I haven't been uploading as much, and there's been times throughout my ASMR history where there's been months where I didn't upload, but it was usually due to mental health aspects. But this time I will say it's more from a lack of inspiration and a little bit of burnout. So I figured if I'm having any kind of inspiration to do something, even if it's imperfect, even if it doesn't do well, view-wise, I might as well take advantage and film, right? And maybe inspire you to take action when you get a spark or an idea to do something, instead of waiting and saying, oh, that's a good idea, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, I'll do it when it's a better time, when I feel better, when I have this thing. Just do it. And then, you know what? The funny thing is, if this turns out crappy and nobody watches it, or I end up hating it, I could always, do a different version where I get a microphone and I set up a tripod and I really polish it up, if it really comes down to that. But what is the harm in executing an idea that you get? Because a lot of times we get these ideas sparked next month, or, I'll do it when I'm more prepared, or when I can make it better. And then you lose the spark for it. And it goes away. I'm not saying it's bad to plan things. Sometimes things need planning, but I don't think there's anything wrong with jumping on an idea, it being imperfect, and then, maybe even part of the planning to make something more perfect is executing it badly at first. Right? That's part of why I haven't been fully enjoying playing the guitar. Is I just want to be perfect at it right away. And I'm good at it, but relax. I'm gonna switch hands here. Now this hand does not have the callus, so you'll be able to hear the difference in how it sounds when I touch it. See how it sounds much smoother. Oh, you know what? Maybe it doesn't sound that different. It feels different, at least for me. And then I'm even gonna take it, even though this is weird. Smell the wood. Ugh. So, if you don't really know what practicing mindfulness or being present means, but you're intrigued by the idea and you're like, I want to do that, and I want to feel good. This is something you can practice like I'm doing it right now. Which, that's another strange thing for me to admit, is that I'm being present and I'm actively being present. It oddly never feels like I am. It always feels like I'm waiting for some future moment to do something, future moment to be present and do that. But no, I'm here right now doing this, being present, practicing this thing with you. Think of something you love that can be tangible like this, right? So if you have a hobby, you play an instrument, or the fashion thing, or you like makeup, or you like to cook, you like nature, you like going on hikes, whatever, something, you like animals. And then take 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever time feels good for you, 5 minutes even, to sit with that thing and appreciate it. What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What are the things about it that you didn't notice previously, like these little metal spots here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. How many are there? They're attached to these strings. That goes all the way here. These are so cold. So cold, wow. Look, I wonder how long it took to make this. And was it made in a factory, or did a person make it? And notice the details on it. Where is it from? Where has it been? It's slightly used to do so. Who's played it before me? This little chip right here. What sound does it make when I tap on it? What does it feel like on my skin? Is it in tune perfectly, or a little out? I think it's pretty good. How far apart are the strings? Is it like half an inch, maybe? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, actually making me realize how much ASMR is actually practicing presence. A lot of ASMR is like this, actually. Very, what's the word, meticulous. Very, like, being very intentional and focused. And it's like, that quite literally is grounding presence. Wow, that sounds nice. Kind of sounds like thunder or like something cold, if that makes sense. If a sound could be cold. Maybe because it sounds like outside for some reason. Thunder, wind, just kind of gives me like the chills a little bit. I'm one of those people who likes when my room is cold at night. I think it's actually just a statistic that you sleep better when it's cold. So that sound, somehow associating with like a chilliness to it, is making it even more relaxing. I love the feeling of curling up in bed and you're just a little bit cold. Not freezing, because that's uncomfortable, but you're just have a little chill to you, and you get under the covers and you rub your feet together. And you're just like, oh my goodness, and you get chills. And you get so cozy and warm under the blanket. Or that feeling of like, right before the shower water gets hot, it's right in between cold and warm. And it kind of feels like rain. And even though you're like kind of wanting it to get warmer, you're like, wait, this is kind of nice. It's kind of giving me chills. And then the water gets warm and you get to warm up and be cozy. And then you get out of the shower again and it's kind of cold and you have to wrap yourself in your towel and dry your hair and run back in bed under the covers and get warm again. I guess we can take a look at this pretty early in my lessons. So I've played the ukulele since middle school. I'm 23. But not seriously. Like, when I first started playing, it was because I was in a music lesson and the teacher brought in some old ukuleles and let us play with them, and I like fell in love with the strumming and just the way it sounded. I don't know. I went home and immediately bought one. The little cheap like soprano. And I loved it for a while. And I did develop like the ability to strum and sing at the same time. And, you know, I just had literally no instruction. Like, I just played little songs I liked, pretty simple ones that didn't challenge me or And I played on and off throughout the years just for fun. Again, just simple songs. And then the last, I don't know, maybe couple of years, I started playing it a lot more and having fun. And then I started just kind of making like super simple chord progressions and singing to them, like making lyrics. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm writing songs. Yeah, they're simple. Actually, they're not, like the lyrics, and they're pretty meaningful to me actually, but as far as the instrument goes, technically it's simple. But I started to notice like it was just kind of happening, and I didn't have to really think about it for it to sound decent. And I actually posted a video on this channel singing to you guys to sleep with all my original songs, and it got like 40,000 views, and you guys loved it. And it was such a validating feeling to post something you care about and have people respond positively to it. I posted another one recently, but I kind of hit a dead end of, do I want to start progressing with this instrument and actually learning to play it? Or am I feeling very limited with it? I wrote a good 12 songs the past year on it, but it kept just feeling like it wasn't really meant for this instrument. I was kind of just using the instrument to write the songs, if that makes sense. Well, it does. You can write a song with anything or without anything. But I was like, no, I need to learn the guitar. I don't really want to put the work into continuing with the ukulele because I'm already hitting dead ends with it. With having so much to already learn more, to learn with it. It's hard to explain, but I was just so limited with that instrument as far as like where I was going with songwriting. So I was like, I gotta bite the bullet and buy a guitar and start taking lessons, which is just so intimidating. But I love it so much, so it was undeniable for me. So I've been really enjoying lessons, even though it's nerve-wracking for me specifically, because I'm a perfectionist and I don't really like being vulnerable in front of people. So for me, learning something new in front of someone who knows something that I don't is vulnerable. So it's hard, but I'm starting to really even enjoy that feeling, which is crazy. So, yeah, we've got into this book a bit, and I've had a couple months of lessons, I think, at this point. Maybe a little less than that. I don't know, but I'm loving it. I'm catching on quickly. And I've already written a song on the guitar now, so now I just have to kind of transcribe the other songs I wrote with the ukulele, so they'll sound much better with the guitar, I think. Maybe some of those songs are meant for the ukulele, but I have to play them on the guitar to decipher that, I think. And I think this year, musically, I'm just going to focus on learning this new instrument, falling in love with the process of learning it. And, if I come across any other information, of course, as far as producing or writing, I'll take it into account. But I tend to focus on too many things at once, and I get overwhelmed and I want to give up. So I'm like, all right, stop trying to learn everything about music ever all at once, because that's going to burn you out. So my focus is, learning the instrument so that I have a means of writing the music, and then whatever comes along in that process comes along, and then maybe next year I'll focus on songwriting, maybe the year after that, producing. But yeah, right now my focus is the instrument. And just going from the basics, learning a little bit of reading the music so that I'm building a really strong foundation and I'm not just winging it on my own. So I can play with other people and talk music and not just feel it. Although it's amazing that I can just feel it and it can just happen, I want to be more technical with it so that I can share it with other people better. Share that interest with others too. So, thank you for spending some time with me tonight. I really enjoyed this with you, which I feel like, I don't know, it makes me feel good and happy. And in a way, feels like I'm already starting to share this passion with other people. I am. Just doesn't always feel like it, but because it's hard. Again, it's vulnerable. Honestly, it's vulnerable for me to even be good at things in front of people. Everything's vulnerable. But yeah, do you like my tattoo? I got it in Florida. My cousin and I went to get tattoos together, and she was gonna get one for the stories she writes. She writes stories for episode. If you like that game, check it out. It's called Prince of Malibu. It's very popular, actually. She does great, and she was gonna get a flower for the story behind her ear, and I wanted this. We walked in without an appointment, and we said, hey, no worries if you can't do this. It's not a big deal. We just kind of wanted spontaneous cousin tattoos for the visit. He said, no, I got you. We showed him the designs. He said, I can do this. He did mine first. And then, after he finished, he went, I have to leave. I have to go pick my kid up. And we went, excuse me. Well, you said you could do both of us. And looking back, I think he just chose the biggest tattoo so he could make the most amount of money and then leave, which is so messed up. Because it totally ruined our experience. It was supposed to be a tattoo I got with my cousin, and she didn't even get a tattoo. It was horrible. But it's beautiful. I love it, and I get so many compliments on it. And my only other tattoo is this Coraline one. This one I got when I was 18. My first ever tattoo. Literally, I think the day I turned 18. It's really cute too, actually. I don't know why I feel like people don't like it or that it's not good, but I actually think it's quite cute. Maybe because it's a cartoon. But I love that movie so much. I have so many Coraline. That blanket right there's a Coraline blanket. Thank you guys for spending time with me tonight. This was so nice, actually. And really grounding for me because I was feeling kind of emotional and anxious. So, thank you. I hope it relaxed you. And I hope you practice this with something you love this week. And it grounds you and makes you feel good. I love you, and I think you deserve the